PGF world is back inside the combat sports capital. We're at a secret location in Las Vegas where 20 grapplers are set to be drafted upon one of 4 teams, all with one common goal in mind. That is cashing in on a potential $100,000.
26, first one. Thank you for what you've created and really, truly the future of what I think is could be.
What's up, everybody? We are here with Paul Ardea, who is just fresh off the auction block. Paul, how are you doing, sir?
Doing good, man. Just happy I'm on a really good team. So
Where did you end up, sir?
I ended up with Hodger Gracie's team.
How do you feel about that?
Happy. I guess I'm just curious to see what the rest of the team is gonna end up looking like.
Okay, now that we have you here with Kevin, he's been saying that you're a student of his. What's your reaction to that,
Kevin?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to call him a liar, you know what I mean? But
So don't.
I will say, you know, he's taught me a lot of things for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you mind explaining like one thing, like any one
Leg
thing?
locks.
Leg locks. Okay, specifically leg locks. Tim, do you have any questions for Paul, given this experience thus far?
Just paying attention to what's happened after you have been drafted. What are your thoughts on how your team's shaping up?
Well, I mean, so far, I think I'm the only person who's gone with my team. But I did get a chance to kind of talk strategy with them. And all I can say is, yeah, I mean, they already have a really good strategy. And well, I don't want to put out what I now know, but
When was the strategy revealed to you?
when we were just kind of chit-chatting, I saw some of the people that they wanted to, you know, that they wanted to be part of their team. And all I'm going to say is that, you know, their bids are very strategic. And not everything that you hear is what they actually want. So,
Understood. Okay.
yeah.
I mean, it feels nice to not have that pressure on you now, but I'm sure if somebody was telling you, like, I'm not bidding on you because strategy, that makes you feel.
Well, it's more like certain bids are going out there just to get other people.
I understand.
You know what I mean? Like
Got it.
being very strategic about it. So
When you win championships, Paul, it's just like people don't understand what your thought process is. And they're just kind of like, what is he doing? And it's like, listen, Champ does what Champ does. So it's difficult.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If a belt doesn't have like pink little things coming off of it, is it even a real belt, Kevin?
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. I think it needs tassels.
Do you understand how stressed he was that he would no longer be the handsomest person in the PGF?
Yeah.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
Even over here, when it was like the potential to be the handsomest person in the PGF, and they were saying that about you, and he was like, no, not true. No, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It's crazy out there.
I mean, look, all I'm going to say is this. You know, I may be the people's most handsome champion, but Kevin still holds on to the belt. So I give that to him, all right? He still has the belt. I haven't taken it.
Got it. He's our princess die. Got it. So let me ask this. I would like now for Kevin to ask you a question. Now, Kevin, this could be about the PGF or it could be about anything. I'll leave it open to you, sir.
It's called Kevin, so don't ask the question that I know you want.
Yeah, man.
He's so good that I just want to try it.
Are you even gonna bother like saving that 20K, or are you just gonna lawyer ball it out and just, you know, have a blast? And follow up, how much of it am I getting?
That's nice too.
Just for the record.
For y'all want the truth?
Yeah, we demand the
Alright,
truth.
man. Yeah, no, if I get 20K here, I'm balling out, man. I'm spending every last bit of it. I thought about it already before I even got here. We have a Brazil trip coming up, bjcamp.rio.com. Kevin will be there, matter of fact. And yeah, $0 will come back with me from that Brazil trip if I win this money. Kevin, I'll give you 1K. All right, 1K to spend however you want.
Wow. That's not bad, Kevin.
Yeah, I'm spending it all in Rio.
Well, Paul, listen, man, when we heard you were going to be on this, we were super stoked that you were going to be a part of the festivities. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you in competition all week, sir. I'm going to let you get out of here, but thank you so much for your time. And hey, man, it's a lot of burden to be so handsome. And I hope you carry it well. Because I'm not worried about the competition. I'm worried about you living with this burden on your shoulders now, sir.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And thank you.
Finally, somebody recognizes it's a burden. They recognize our struggle. Thank you. It's going in my memoir.
So sure. Anyway, Paul Ardia, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
We are here joined by Kamoy Anderson. Kamoy, how are you feeling, sir?
Oh, I'm feeling good. I'm just keeping an eye on the team. I'm just curious what's Dean Lister, which is my coach. I'm trying to see what his plan is. I'm trying to see his vision. He's not really showing much interest in a lot of people. Let a lot of good guys pass us, but I'm sure he has a greater plan. I'm just watching, trying to see the vision.
Trying to see the vision. Trying to see. I mean, you know, sometimes it's hard to know right off the bat what the vision is. So maybe we have to let it unfold. So we'll see, sir. What concerns you right now?
What concerned me is that they wait a little bit too long and miss some really key players. I don't know who the guys next to him that's advising him or what the game plan is, but I'm concerned we're going to miss out on some really good key players.
Do you think part of that comes from having done this experience before and kind of knowing what to expect in this way?
Not only that, I just know the sport very well. I know every single guy. I pay attention. I know everybody. I'm just good at predicting certain stuff, so I could already see how certain stuff gonna play out before it happens. So in my mind, there was certain people that I wanted to be on the team with already because I know the kind of results that they can produce.
Copy that. Tim.
So who do you want to be on a team with?
I think a guy like Davis Asari would have been a good pick. Kyle Bone would have been a good pick. Kyle Chambers, Elijah Carlton, guys that's known for being submission hunters. I don't want to be on a team of guys that's coming out looking to wrestle for 10 minutes. Nobody cares about that. This is a submission hunting format. I want the guys that's just going out there like from bell to bell looking to submit.
Kevin.
You talked about being able to see how things are playing out. Is there a team you got your eye on that you think is going about things in a way that we'll say concerns you?
Yeah. What team is that? I don't even know. The team that have Davis, Elijah,
And Trana.
Yeah, they pretty much trying to recreate the team that won it last season, but the only thing that's different is like that was a whole different season, a whole different weight class. I don't think they're gonna get the same results that they looking to get.
So let me ask this. You're also a person that is behind main character jiu-jitsu, correct?
Yeah.
So what are you looking for whenever you're looking for athletes at main character jiu-jitsu?
I'm looking for the guys that's coming out that's at least trying to put on a show, at least trying to get a submission. A lot of people, they comfortable with just winning. I feel like as a promoter, as a business owner, we want the guys that gonna do more than win. The guy that's gonna give us great content, stuff that we could take very far, stuff that has value. So I feel like we're gonna see that here in PGF also. We're gonna see guys that's gonna do more than just win, guys that's just gonna bring value to the promotion, guys that's gonna give us some highlights that's gonna be used for years to come and highlight videos.
So just a clarifying question here. You have a main character jiu-jitsu event shortly after this event.
Yes, that's correct. November 17th, we have an event in Austin, Texas.
Why do you hate your time? Because doing that is insane. Like, this is already a hectic thing. And then you said, you know what's even more fun? Being stressed out the week after.
I mean, I like to stay busy, man. I feel like one of the reasons why I'm so successful as a promoter is because I'm also athlete in the game also. I think that's what make me able to bond with the grapplers because they see me out here doing the same thing they doing. So I'm out here in the field also. I'm not like a fat promoter that's just behind the computer. When I say anybody here's a fat promoter.
What are you doing? Yeah.
But wait, think about it. When you think of a promoter, you don't think of somebody in the field. You think of somebody retired, somebody with a freaking baseball cap on or some shit. Just don't look too athletic.
Well, first of all, you're describing Tim, and I feel that's very, very insulting.
You know, we shared a lift this morning. Dude. You know what I'm saying?
But
I noticed he didn't make eye contact with you while he said
Just
any
like
of
he
that.
said it, he just looked forward like I'm gonna
I
do this,
hope he
dog.
knows.
it is pretty impressive to be like,
I didn't say
I'd like to
also.
say it's people who wear baseball caps, glasses, a gray suit, occasionally a tie that doesn't
Floral shirts.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was gonna jump in and go like, tell him what you did yesterday, Kamoy. Tell him what you did
We should
because
still talk about it.
he competed. He was competing yesterday.
Come on. This is eye to eye, real quick.
Yes.
Don't take this the wrong way. But what's wrong with you? Because you competed yesterday when there's a lot of money on the line this week. There's always the factor something could go wrong. Gladly, you look fine. But why are you so crazy to do that?
I mean, I just feel life is so short, man. I want to take advantage of as much opportunities as possible. You know, I'm confident in myself that I could compete, go out there and tap when I need to tap. I'm not like one of these guys like Kevin that would just leave his foot to get broken just for the fun of it. I would just tap when I need to tap. I would not do that to myself.
Kamoy, I'm noticing a pattern here.
Yes.
You went for Tim. You went for Kevin. I'm just gonna give you the heads up now. I'm too much of a smartass.
Listen, bro, I'm getting into Valhalla. I'm getting into Valhalla one way or another, and it's not by tapping.
I will tell you this, Kamoy. Listen, I'm so happy that you put together main character jiu-jitsu. I'm happy you're here. I'm just concerned. I want you to have a great week. I want you to enjoy the week here. And I look forward to seeing you competing. Do you have any parting words before we get you out of here, sir?
Yeah, if you guys are watching this right now, just keep an eye on me. I'm out here trying to give you guys highlights. You know what I'm saying? Guys want to come out here, they want to win with a boring little rear naked choke. I'm trying to do something that will go viral. We trying to go viral. We trying to put PGF higher on the map. It's already on the map. We trying to put it higher on the map. And we just trying to do good stuff. We trying to make jiu-jitsu fun and keep it entertaining.
Last question. The fit, the shirt. What is this? What is this fit? What is this? Because it looks silk. Like what kind of material are we talking here, buddy?
Yeah, it's definitely a silk shirt and dress pants and a little dress shoes. I feel like what I do for my promotion, I ask guys to come out and look the part. So I feel like if I'm here in PGF, I gotta come out and I gotta look the part. Same thing I ask my guys to do.
Well, thank you. Because listen, some people won't name names, didn't dress up. So thank you for looking.
Let's name some names. We got Ryan Aiken. He came out here looking like he just finished riding a horse. Elijah Carton looked like he just in his backyard cutting grass. Let's talk about it.
He said riding a horse. I've never seen a dude riding a horse dressed like Ryan Akers.
Carry that name.
I'll say, like they have a very different form of riding horses. But you know what? You would know more than I do. I would tell you this, Kamoy. Thank you so much for stopping in, sir. I hope you have a great week of success.
Peace.
Well, ladies and gents, let me just say this. It is a pleasure to have Travis Thomas and just with us, sir. How does it feel to be back at the PGF today?
Man, I think it feels super awesome, especially like going from 10th Planet Decatur in the church, a little hometown thing that I've been to a establishment in Las Vegas. It's super, super incredible what Brandon's done and just the team has, like the whole team has done, honestly.
Did you have some FOMO last year in terms of like, man, I want to be doing this part, like the actual competition part?
Yeah, I was sad that they went to the 170 or 175 season instead of straight to the 205 season. I thought it would have been super cool to come back-to-back seasons and like get to be a part of the first part in Las Vegas. But now I get to like be a part of the grown Las Vegas adventure. So they had some not really any hiccups. It was a super great show and it was better than season 5, but they've done even better this season and now I get to be a part of that. So that's awesome.
Talk me through the drip here,
dude.
because you came in.
He said, "Oh,
chains,
dude," he got excited.
you know, you got the chain, you got a little bit of the flannel, so it's like an elevated South man, is what I would say here. So tell me about the apparel that you have for draft day, sir.
Yeah, so I was like, man, I really need an outfit, and I sent a picture to my girlfriend and was like, this is what I'm looking for. And then so we went to the mall and we went to H&M and she picked out all the shit. And I was like, I don't want to spend over $100. And she said, don't worry, I will. And she bought me this outfit, picked it out, and it was great. Yeah, I'm super happy about it.
You're definitely styling and profiling,
Yeah.
sir. I appreciate that,
Yeah.
because I don't want to talk crap about anybody, okay?
But not everybody's professional.
But
That's what we can
let's
say.
be real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. No, now I'm going to put you on the spot. Name one person here who did not dress up for draft
Brian
day.
Aiken.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that you mention it, he did not dress up.
No, he wore a
I
tank
thought
top
he
and
was just
gym shorts.
spectating. You're right. He's actually a guy.
And it's weird because he's the last person to go.
Right.
So, like, if somebody comes in late on the program, they'll be like, oh, this is what's this dude doing? Did they get him from a pickup basketball game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's trying to play a character. I'm not really into it, but that's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had somebody ready to go, but you were ready.
Oh, yeah.
with somebody off the top
Listen,
of the flat.
my goal this season is to be the best for the PGF.
Thank you.
That's the most marketable. So I want to do the best interviews. I want to be the best on the mats, whether that's winning all the matches or just being the most exciting. That's what I'm really coming out here for, man.
You know what? Best interviews is not something we've ever given out, but we would be the people to give that out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we'll see about that, sir.
Yeah. And then if Kevin ever wants to, I guess we got to give Paul a chance, but if Kevin ever wants to run that handsome title back, I'm ready for that shit too.
H&M.
Yeah, we can do it at 170, bro. Yeah. We're gonna do it at 170. Y'all heard it here first. I said yes.
You put the corduroys on Travis and he turns into a maniac.
Yeah, dude, I'm crazy.
I just love the fact that you're like, I'm here to instigate, and immediately is like, I would like that handsome title. And I was like, well, you got on that real quick.
Dude, I've never worn H&M before, but it's really got me feeling some type of way. And I know that's not even Louis Vuitton. That's nothing. It's just, bro, I'm feeling good.
Hey, listen, dude.
I took a picture in the mirror and I'll be doing that.
We got to get you some Gucci slippers or something. Y'all act crazy out here.
Change your life, man.
Tim, I'm going to come to you next, sir.
A lot of good buzz coming into this season from me just talking to other people about what athletes they were looking forward to seeing in the draft and that they expected to do well. Your name's come up a bunch of times. You got a good dollar amount in the auction. How does that kind of shape your feeling going into it?
Yeah, man, I think I don't have tons and tons of pressure on me. While people do think that I'm going to do well, I believe in myself as well, and I am super young in the game, so whatever happens, happens. But man, every time that I come out there, I'm one of the most exciting grapplers on the stage. So yeah, dude, I think that I feel super good about where I'm at.
Very nice, Kev.
Give me the estimate on foot sweeps and the estimates on flying triangles.
Okay, I think I'm gonna at least shoot a flying triangle on everybody that stands up with me. And I plan, instead of foot sweeps, I'm trying to put people in the couches. I know that they said that we should be safe, but I want to put at least 3 people in the couches.
Brother.
Oh,
Yeah, they listen.
good stat to keep.
Yeah. They said that. They said they were like, oh yeah, keep it in the middle, but Instagram wants it in the couches.
Yeah, dude. I'm most definitely, hopefully, gonna put. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna put Adam Bradley in Zoltan's lap.
Okay.
There we go.
You heard it here. Adam Bradley's couchable.
If that happens, that is gonna make a fire clip.
You got to move the couch into the next couch.
Okay.
That's how you know like the couch has been moved. That's pretty much the criteria.
We're big bodies. We're coming for movement.
Yeah.
I just seen that Brad Snyder is now on Team New Hope.
What are your feelings?
Oh no.
I feel like this interview has gone the wrong way. I don't usually do this. I've had a match against Brad. He's just getting back into competition. I think off of like a year or 2 break. He's got some super funky jiu-jitsu, so I think that he can catch some people. Yeah, we'll see for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm so glad it took you about 30 seconds to get to the we'll see, because I was like, I don't know if we're going to get that first. Because I always like to think how I would do press row if I was in the reverse position.
Yeah.
And I'd like to think I'd be very classy. But I think you guys see when I get mad very easily on the show.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I'd be able to hide it.
Yeah, man, I try to be classy, but I also try to be honest. You know, I want to be a truthful soul. So
good for you, sir.
Yeah.
Look at you. I will ask this before we let you go. You seem to be paying attention to the draft picks.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts as you watched the mock draft? And do you have any harbored feelings toward anybody here at the table for any reason?
Yeah, I think that you guys have a pretty solid team between the two of you and Kevin. And one of your party kind of sucks, and that's Tim.
I thought you were going to say egg.
No,
well,
listen,
that's Tim.
Yeah, technically, I did trade you on my first team, but I have you on my second team.
I have a Snickers at the hotel.
Dude, I will trade
Ready.
Travis for a Snickers.
Hell yeah.
Let's
Hey,
go.
You heard it, right? All right. Tim's team has 4 people. Mine has 6. I got Travis.
I just wanted to know what it felt like to have that happening, because a lot of times we put this out into the ether. We don't see the people. Normally they're protected when they do Sports Center. They're not in front of the athletes. We're very much right next to you.
Yeah, man, I actually come to Nashville super often to train with him. And I thought that like we were really good buddies. We always just hang around. And now I'm going to show Tim what happens when I compete. Next time I come to 10th Planet Nashville for probably the next 10 times, first and last rounds with Tim, and I'm going 100%.
I'm going to show up with a neck brace on each time.
You know what? I have to say, I didn't think I was going to end so smiley at the end of this interview.
You see? Yeah,
but
so classy.
legitimately, this is great because, I mean, honestly, the hard part for me is I'm involved in these drafts too.
Yeah.
And when these guys are like, yo, what do you feel about your friends? And I go, I'm friends with almost everybody here. I think they know I've got to pick only 5.
Yeah.
And I don't harbor any feelings because all I know is if it was the reverse, the amount of guilt I would make you feel for not picking me is heavy. I'd be like, dude, I know I don't get you points, but I want you to feel bad.
Yeah, man. Tim sucks.
Great. I'm glad we all agree.
Cool deal.
Ladies and gents, Travis Thomas.
Thank you very much.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
This is historic.
Well, this is an interesting turn of events. I didn't think it would come together this nicely, but it does show that sometimes people play up things for the internet or the television. We are joined by Elijah Carlton, who is somehow sitting civilly next to handsome Kevin Sherrill. So listen, there's been a whole will they, won't they thing between the two of you. So are you just lovers now? Like, what exactly is happening here, sir?
I think we've always been pretty civil, but I think we've always been kind of civil. We kind of have history between our teams, you know, and our teams kind of feud in Atlanta, you know, but it's good for the sport. It's good for this promotion. So who cares?
Sure. But like,
maybe Kevin and I will fist fight at the end for the finale.
You know what? At least make it be on the post show. That's all I ask.
Yeah.
I guess the question I have for both of you is, can I get each of you to say one nice thing about the other? Because I feel like this doesn't happen all the time. So I'm going to start with you, Elijah. What's one nice thing about Kevin?
Kevin is game. I'll give him that. He always shows up.
Okay. Kevin?
Our next Elijah is rocking the fuck out that mustache.
I feel like, you know what, this is like turned into Oprah all of a sudden because now we've had a breakthrough here, gentlemen.
They're sharing a mic.
Did you sharing a microphone?
You would ever share a mic? 2 guys, 1 mic. Nice job.
Hey, I told the group chat to pay this man at the end of the season. And look, now I guess they're paying this.
I mean, I just find it so hilarious that one of the last memories I had was watching the documentary. And then you being asked a great moment, you're just like, tell us about your competition. It's like, all I know is fuck Kevin Sherrill. And I was like, listen here, guys. This seems unnecessary.
Dude, I've been told of so much footage from last season that they deleted it before they even showed BMAC because they were afraid to show BMAC of the shit I was saying.
The commission.
I can't control myself sometimes. My fucking adrenaline gets going from after matches and shit, and people like Kevin piss me off, and I'm just like, I'll just start saying
some
shit.
heinous stuff, though, man.
Heinous shit, dude.
There was a moment last year when the other co-host, Jake Watson, saw you and you gave him a double bird. And he was like, I don't think Elijah likes me. And I was like, no, that's good. No, that's double birds is actually good for him. You're fine. If you don't get any response from him, probably not great.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, but I don't think he likes me. And I was like, I don't think you know that. So hard to say. Gentlemen,
You'll never know.
I mean, he'll never know.
Literally never.
He'll literally never know. Tim, do you have any questions for Elijah?
So, Elijah, any surprise so far? You've got the highest dollar bid in the draft at 3,200, and it sounded to me like you were trying to bid yourself down almost.
Well, I mean, obviously, if you go for less money, that your team has more money to spend on other people. When it comes down to other people, I'm obviously not going to win this tournament. If anybody thinks I'm going to win this tournament, they're retarded. But I am going to put points on the board, and I am going to be an MVP. I will be in the finale. I'll be a top scorer. Ryan's going to win it. Maybe Paul. Maybe Kyle Bain. But I'm just going to put up some points. Hopefully, be on the winning team.
You know, I love this from you. I love hearing you analyze this like you're on our side. Like you're like, I know how many points I'm going to get, guys. Listen, I know exactly how this is going to work. But I think you're also underselling the fact of how valuable you're going to be to each team, considering you've seen the.
Well, I mean, obviously, I don't think anybody else was going to go for that much. I think everybody else is going to be pretty conservative with their money. But I'm obviously the most valuable person to have on your team. Like whether I'm like number one in the rankings to like winning it all, I'm the MVP for sure. Hands down. I have the most experience. Proof is in the pudding, you know.
Beautiful. Kevin, do you have any questions?
When Steven hit you with that, yeah, can we start the bid off at 1K? Did your heart just drop?
It didn't really affect me. I knew what was going to happen. I knew I was going to go for that much. Actually, it's crazy. I was eating food in the Orleans in one of the restaurants, and I seen Carlos Machado and his crew sitting down eating too. And I just sat down and I like actually took a video of them and I sent it to a couple group chats. And I'm looking down, replying to some people, and they walk up to me and approach me. And Carlos is like, he says, "Hey, the number one pick to win the tournament," which I don't know what he was talking about. But I stood up to go to shake his hand. He's like, "I'm Carlos." And I was like, I know who you are.
How bad do you want to be on my team?
I know who you are. And they pretty much kind of hinted that they
Tell
were
me
trying
and I
to get
who.
me. Yeah. It was a weird coincidence. I ran into him, and that was their game plan the whole time, was to get me. So I don't think it was everybody's game plan to get me, but obviously it was theirs, and they spent a lot of money on me, which affects me a little bit, but it's nice to go for a lot of money. I've made a pact with 3 other people here to split money certain ways. So like I'm going home with money regardless.
I'm glad you brought that up because I found out last year you were splitting with somebody else in the documentary. And I
just me and Kevin Buring split it last time. So we both got 10, but now I've got 3 other people, and it's possible that 2 or 3 of us get on the same team, and one is on the other team. We all 4 won't get on the same team, obviously.
I don't know how thin do you want to slice this pie?
Pete Rose.
It could happen, but theoretically, if like 3 of us are on the same team and one is on a different team, we each get 20. So that's 60 split between 4, which is 15. And that the statistics of you doing that, other than other things, is like way better. Like, worst case scenario, we're all 4 on different teams and get $5,000 a piece, but somebody's going to double up, and that money's going to go up to like 7.
Okay, I followed that. I just wanted to make sure I heard it correctly, because if I ever get involved in this, I'm splitting it 20 ways with people and making those 20 different parlay bets. I'd be like, no, it's 1/20th. We're just splitting that, dude. That's what we're doing here.
Yeah. I'll bet you your share. I know those other 3 people.
Oh, just hold on. Like,
Wow.
Kevin, that doesn't even make any sense.
Las Vegas has changed you, Kevin.
No, and he was like, yo, Kevin's going to come up to you a little bit later. You don't know shit. There's no way to prove it. Having said that,
It is. I mean, I'm not trying to keep this secret. I'm not going to say because I don't know if they want to.
Yeah. I mean, it's out there now, but I will tell you,
no secret that we're splitting money. I mean, why wouldn't we? We're all fucking broke athletes, and it's like our statistics of our probability of money going from just $1,000 in the draft to most likely we're probably all going to get 7 or maybe 10 or 15. You'd be an idiot not to, honestly.
I mean,
all these other people out here that aren't doing it, fucking retarded.
We'll get to the union eventually when we all take up umbrage against BMAC in season 12.
Season 12, that fast, huh?
Listen, bro, this shit's gonna go.
It is gonna be wild when Elijah, the bad guy, Carlton, leads the charge on the union, and I'm fucking hopping in.
You know what? Hey, listen, of all people who would have some weight, that would work. You know,
no kidding.
Me and BMAC I was pissed off at BMAC all last season. That's why y'all got to mad me. It's because me and BMAC were going back and forth all season about some stupid petty shit. I was being an asshole. I had a lot of stress on my shoulders last season. Felt like I had a lot to prove. I was injured. I was on a handful of muscle relaxers every fucking night last season because my back was really fucked up. I was just not in a good mood all fucking last season. So y'all saw a really shitty side of me last season, but we're back. We're better. We're healthy. We're going to have a fun week.
All right. Now, I'm going to keep you to that.
For sure.
Because I don't want to book you on a show for a post show and not have you show up. And then sit here and be like, you can't talk to me on the comment section and be like, why are you talking to me?
This guy goes home and comments on the show. He's no show.
I had to have me on the show, and then I just went home and commented on the show and talked shit to him instead.
Yeah, you're like, you go, he's only on the show because I turned it down. And I was like, no shit. I tried to book you, and then when you didn't show up, I replaced you.
Forgot that you did that.
The beauty of doing a live program is hearing you in the comment section. I was like, yeah, fucker, I'm mad at you right now. I'll talk to you later. And the best part is people are like, are you really mad at Elijah? And I was like, I'll get over it. But I just need you to understand, as a producer, I am allowed to be mad for 20 minutes. And then all of a sudden, fortunately for us, we had people who were fighting. We had lots of stuff coming on where I was just like, wait, what's happening? So the beauty of doing live television here, people. But nonetheless, I don't want to see you run away again. If we want to talk to you, it's because we want to talk to you because you did something worth noting.
For sure.
So, all right, we're all peaceful here. You've made coexistence with this one. We've said our piece. Do you have any grievances you need to get out, Tim?
You know, Elijah and I.
He doesn't want to fight me, though. I think Reese wants to beat me up, so I'm going to stay away from him.
Reese wants to beat you up.
Okay. Let's
stay with
So,
guys.
right? He's trying to patch. He's trying to play We Are the World.
I'm just being honest.
And you guys just went gangster rap.
I think the LHF dudes are fine
Trying
with
to
you.
beef again.
Reese wants to beat you up.
This is literally right now. He's at the Source Awards being like, well, I got love for you too. Snoop ain't got no love for you guys. So anyway, listen, Elijah, I got to tell you, man, I hope you enjoy it. Congratulations again on a great bid this year on the auction. You always bring a great competition, and I look forward to seeing you this week, sir.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Much love. Elijah Colton, everybody.
What is up, everybody? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, RAF ESPARZA, coming to you
with another great installment of the Bullpen here at the PGF. This is a joint venture between the Grappling Hour and Inside BJJ. I hope you're in for a long day because we have a lot of competition for you guys. And I got to tell you this, your eyes do not deceive you. This is not a political ad. This is not a commercial for something you don't want to see. This is the show. This is the show you want to see. And I'm so happy to be joined by two of my very good friends. We go first to our longtime friend, Tim Freeman. Tim, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Raf. Day 1, Season 7. I remember what it was like for Season 6, and now we're at Season 7. I'm pumped. You can feel the tension just get a little bit thicker in the room as we await kickoff. I can't wait, man.
As the great Will Ferrell said, I can feel it in my plums. Speaking of somebody in a plum outfit, you got one Kevin Sherrill looking handsome as ever. Kevin, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. I felt like I had to bust out the plum, the lavender, the purple. You had your Dodgers tie yesterday to celebrate their championship. Mine is to celebrate the ever-present handsome title around my waist that I will go to my grave with, Paul.
Wow. That's those are fighting words. But I would say this, though, Kev. There was a moment where I needed to break a 20 earlier today, and I almost went straight to you. I was just looking at you, and you look like you're going to be behind a casino cage and enforcing some Sam Ace Rosenthal moments. I love the movie Casino. You were great in it. Let's now get to some business, guys. What has been happening here? How has your day been thus far? Because we're just a few minutes away from the action taking place, but I haven't checked in on you guys. I'm going to start with you first, Kevin. You doing okay? You feeling okay? What is the temperature for you at this moment?
I'm feeling fantastic, Raf. I'm so excited. This is day 1 action of the PGF. It is so exciting. I looked at the list of matches, and they start right off with bangers. Some of the best matches you're going to see all week are going to happen today. I don't want to spoil them. That's for a later segment. But I've been hopping around all day. I've been skipping from place to place.
Tim, the anxiety, it's at a fever pitch. How is your anxiety doing? The blood pressure okay? You feeling okay, sir?
I'm feeling okay. I did take the blood pressure medicine this morning just in case, just to keep my nerves down. Yeah, I'm stoked. I'm really interested in seeing how the strategy plays out from the coaching. I feel like some of the coaches came in this year with a very specific plan, and I'm really interested in seeing how that unfolds.
Gents, before we get to the action and go to the board, we do have a reminder here. Kev, what is happening in the world of fantasy? What do the fans need to know right now before we get to the topics that we have prepared for everybody?
So you guys have a little under 30 minutes. It is still open. The fantasy is still available. You can build your team. Get in there, guys. It's going to lock in, and we're set for the week. You do not want to be on day 2 or day 3 going, oh, man, I knew this guy was going to go off. We've seen a lot of Dory fans in the comments. I'm getting a lot of heat for my picks that I love the man, but he weren't necessarily favorable. Prove me wrong. Go in there, grab your guys, set up your team, and get in on the action.
Kevin, very much taking the Chappelle Prince route of assemble your crew and do it very quickly because, Kev, what happens right at the very top of today? What happens? Are they blocked? Can they do fantasy after we're done with this pre-show here?
They are blocked out, man. All your teams have to be locked in, and you have time to do it. Go check the PGF page. Go check pgf.com, pgfhome.com, and go get your team set up.
Thank you for that, Kevin. Great stuff. Gentlemen, let's go straight to the board right now. We have a lot of topics to get to, but we're going to start first and foremost. We thought we would give each of the individuals here 1 minute each to recap as best they could what was happening here yesterday. Now, it's a heavy, heavy task because there was a lot that happened. We have not planned how this is going to go. We have not talked it out beforehand. So one of us may be covering something that the other person put down on their bullet points. But we're going to start with you, Tim Freeman. Recap in exactly 1 minute. Your time begins now.
So I did put some notes down. Listen, the day starts with all these pieces being brought in, unassembled, and as the producers and the production crew and everyone who's involved starts putting this thing together, we start seeing the PGF take shape. The athletes start pouring in. Some are concerned about their weight, and some of them don't seem to care at all. It kind of ran across the board. But as the day rolled on, things got more serious, especially with the draft. And there was a little bit of tension in the draft in terms of like the guys that were going for high money value were going, no, 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 no. The guys that didn't have a high money value were a little bit like, oh man, what am I, minced meat? Like at the end of it, there was a little bit of a feel that you can get. But as the day rolled through and the teams shaped up, guys started to figure out maybe what their chances would be of winning a team championship. And you could see the temperature go up for some and go down for others. They had a night to sleep on it. They come back in, and they're ready today to knock it out.
That is your time, Tim. Thank you very much for that. Kevin, we go straight to you now.
Right. So we started off the day, if you tuned in, with a certain host of this show getting a fantasy belt. And so can you. Get on that fantasy league and get yourself a belt. So Kyle Chambers going for $900 was a little crazy. We need to talk about that, but we're not gonna. 3 teams are in contention this year. That is a PGF first. If you've been paying attention, usually there's one really hard front runner, the Yankees, and everyone is chasing them down all season. We have 3 this season that are strong contenders. Abe managed to somehow flip the script on the coaches this year and demand that they, in fact, sell him on their team. It was very much so a my how the turntables moment. And then altogether, the auction was a massive success. We moved to randomized draft picks, and it was incredibly interesting. It's one of those things that you may need to go back and watch to see.
2, 1, and that will be your time, Kevin. And with the remaining time, I'm going to give you the best of hits that I can go for. First off, there was a draft. Everybody went crazy. People yelling out. And then we did see Pardee, who was the first bid, got a good price. But the person who ended up getting the most, still not a major surprise. We had a top 3. Atlanta was very well represented. We also want to talk about the fact that, yes, Dean Lister, we don't know what happened to him. We'll get to that in a second. We also had to give dry cleaning, and I'm not there, and I ended up winning this because you know what I mean? Like, this is just where it's at. So anyway, I think that kind of brings us up to speed. Why don't we actually go back now to a new segment where we're actually going to recap via grades that our gentlemen are going to give here on how the coaches did. So we're going to go over the teams and how the coaches did. And I want to go ahead and start. I think we should really just start very easily with first form. So gentlemen, you both have pens, you both have paper. I would like for you to describe a grade, and then you're going to explain it just like we're in elementary school. So once you have them ready, go ahead and look up at your camera. And then once you were looking up the camera, we'll now cut to you and reveal them in 3, 2, 1. Here are the grades that were given. Tim, I see you gave an A, and why don't you go ahead and explain yours, sir?
Well, I gave first form an A, 1 for strength of team. They have a bunch of point scorers on their team, and they're also pretty smart dudes. They're pretty articulate, and they could spell, so that's important. But they bring a lot to the table. I think they're going to be able to put some serious points on the board, and you got a cluster of good guys on the same team, meaning they're not going to have to fight each other. They're set up in pretty good shape to win the team title this year.
Can you explain the quotation marks, though? Because this is just supposed to be a grade. It's not supposed to be a grade.
Well,
an A.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't earned it yet. This is kind of penciled in.
Wow.
We'll see how they do. I'll grade them again at the end, and we'll see kind of what the delta is. But
hear that, Hodger
for
Gracie?
now, you're
on
penciled in.
notice.
You're penciled in at an A.
Fair enough. We now go to Kevin Sherrill. Kevin, what was your grade for the first form?
Yeah, first form gets an A. I think they came out of this as the closest thing we have to a Yankees from this draft. As I said earlier, there are 3 teams that I think can contend. And first form went in and set themselves out there. There was no question after the first 3 picks that they were going to be a strong force. They've got Paul Ardea, Kyle Chambers, Kyle Bain, who are known point scorers. They're going to rack up points in this. And they have Adam Bradley and Dory, who both can score points, but also are probably not getting submitted very often. Those are 2 of the most difficult matches you're going to have. They're big, they're strong, they don't get tapped a lot, and their teammates now don't have to fight them.
Gentlemen, thank you for that. We're now going to go to our second team. I'm now going to ask for grades for Team New Hope. Team New Hope. So take a moment, go ahead and write your grades on out. And I'm now going to turn to you as soon as you make eye contact with this. Kevin, I'm going to have you go first, but let's go ahead and reveal them. Go to the screen if you guys would. Grades was a D and a B in quotation marks. Still using the quotation marks. Kevin, I'm going to have you start first because I think people want to know what you're thinking first.
Yeah, I think Dean Lister, I'm not going to lie, giving him this grade kind of hurt me. But
Hey, aren't we doing New Hope? Did we say New Hope?
We were talking about New Hope, is what I said.
Nice.
Okay,
perfect,
we're going to switch to Tim while Tim has that ready.
Fantastic.
Go ahead, Tim.
I'm going to go ahead and give Kevin a D for this segment, and that's not penciled in. We're going to go B for New Hope. Look, I think they have a chance to do something here. If Travis Thomas and Ryan Aiken can put some points on the board, if Ernesto Rivera can do the same, I think they're going to have a pretty good chance. Maybe not it being the front runner, but they might be able to sneak up on day 3 and day 4. That's a day where you start to see guys get banged up, and they're going to have a pocket of time in there where they can do it. They got Cam Hurd. He's a veteran. He's coming heavy. He's coming with the drip. So I think they got a real shot at it. Brad Schneider's a last-minute replacement. I think if the alternates kind of do well and the guys that jumped on at the end, they have a shot to make a run at the end here.
All right, Kevin, I'm going to come back to you now.
Yeah, well, we had discussed literacy being a problem for grapplers, and here I am being a case study. I had my notes backwards. C. I gave him a C. I think he is a contender. I think Pedro Sauer's put together a team where he is indeed a contender for this, but he has 3 people. He has 2 guys that are going to put up points. Ryan Aiken and Travis Thomas are solid bets to put up a lot of points this season, and then he has 3 guys that have asterisks by their names where they could go off. We could see it happen. But for various reasons, they could also maybe fall flat this season, depending on whether you get all 3 of them going off, 2, 1, maybe none of them go off. You may have a contender. You may have someone who doesn't quite have the season they needed to.
Copy that. Gentlemen, I'm now going to come to you for Team Constellation. Now, since we're a little bit short on time, what we're going to do on these is I need you to give them in 30-second hits or less. Kevin, when you're ready to go ahead and present, let's go ahead and show it to the audience. I see the D, and C's get degrees. Now, Kev, I want to give you a chance for redemption here. Please tell us why you gave a D in this particular case.
The irony of me giving someone a poor grade after handing in the wrong assignment is strong. Yeah, I think Dean put together the only team that I don't see as really being in contention. Obviously, he has good athletes on there, but other than Chris Wojcik and maybe Marcin, the other guys seem to be on the outside looking in, and worse yet, they seem to know it. We spoke with a few of those athletes, and they were a little concerned. They said they were going to have to do a lot of work to claw in it. They weren't out of it yet, but they knew they had their work cut out for them, and that's a rough place to be if you're the one team on the outside looking in.
Fair enough. All right, let's go over to you, Tim.
Well, look, I say C. Yes, they have a hard road ahead of them, but Kimoy has a lot of experience in the PGF. Chris Wojcik is an outstanding competitor. You know he's going to show up. And then you got 3 guys that are a little bit of wild cards. You have Sebastian, Marcin, and Fedor, who these guys are all great, but they haven't been in this format yet. That could actually play to their strength. These guys might be able to come in and kind of sneak under the radar and stay alive. I wouldn't be surprised if we see 1 or 2 of those guys at least make the individual tournament if they can't make a run for the team finals. But I think C is a fair grade. I think they did okay. But, there's some gaps in that team there that are going to need to be sorted out.
All right, thank you for this. And for the final team, let's go ahead and get those grades in right now. It is Intrana. So Intrana, let's give the grade. And I think, Tim, are you all set?
Yes.
Let's do our reveal right now. I see a B+ and an A from Kevin. Now, I'm intrigued by the A, but we'll come to that second first. Tim, tell us about your B+, please.
Well, I don't think you can give them an A if you give First Form an A. I just think First Form is the standard team here, that they got the highest standard. Carlos Machado's Intrana team is pretty good. Elijah Carlton, hard to bet against in the PGF, as Egghead Warrior always reminds us. But you've also got veterans with Davis Asari, you've got Nathan Haddad, and you've got Andre on that team. Those all can put big points up on the board. They're pretty good defensively. They're not easy to score on. So I think they're the second strongest team here. New Hope might be able to battle it out with them, but I think we're going to see Intrana do pretty well this week.
Thank you for that. Kevin, explain your B+, sir.
Yeah, I think in the regular roster, I would have given Carlos a B, but I'm giving him an A because of his performance in securing Abe LaMontagne as his first alternate. That right there is a huge upswing. There's been talk about putting him in on the primary roster in exchange for one of the other guys for particular matchups. He's a dangerous, dangerous guy. I think the fact that it came down to needing to sell him on coming to their team and him managing to nab that, you have to give a lot of credit to the coach.
Great. Gentlemen, thank you for that. There's a lot to cover, and we will get back to that particular topic, I think, a little bit later. But now we move on to the matchups. So I'm going to very quickly ask you guys to preview out the matchups, and we're going to put some time back on the clock here. Now, for this particular moment, I'd like for you guys to tell us your matchups in 30 seconds. That's the real struggle because there are a lot of good matchups here today. I'm going to start with you, Kevin Sherrill.
So we've got two guys. For those of y'all that want to see the leg lock shootout today, you have a treat ahead of you. You've got Kyle Bain versus Chris Wojcik and Andre Porfirio versus Paul Ardea. Those four guys are four of the most dangerous leg lockers on the planet, and they are almost certainly just going to trade legs with each other. You're going to get to see something very interesting. If you hate leg lock shootouts and you want to see someone attempt to shut down a dangerous leg locker, you have Kyle Chambers versus Ernesto Rivera, and you have Davis Asare and Chris Wojcik. Whatever you want is there for you. That's the menu.
All right, now we come to you, Tim. What else do we have to look forward to today? There's 30 matches, so I'm assuming maybe you have a couple that he didn't have as well.
Well, I'm going to give you three names to look out for because they all have pretty interesting pathways through today. That is Travis Thomas. He is going to go up against Dory Allen, Elijah Carlton, and Sebastian Attard. I think he's going to have a good chance to put some points on the board. You also have Adam Bradley, who's going up against Cam Hurd, Kamoy Anderson, and Caleb Crump. I think he's going to have a good shot. On the reverse side, Davis Asare has a super tough schedule today. Chris Wojcik, Ryan Aiken, and Kyle Bain. That's not an easy route. Pay attention to those three names. See how they do today.
Appreciate that. Gentlemen, thank you for that great preview. You guys don't want to go anywhere. And even in the comment section, I see Moose Fritz saying, yeah, not going to lie. I actually see somebody winning in this particular way. They said that they've got Kyle over Chris from Hype Kills 10P. So sorry about that, Moose. I thought that was coming from you, but that was Hype Kills 10P. Making a prediction here in the comment section. Yes, we have eyes on them. More on that later. Let's go now to our next topic, which is, all right, I'm sure some of you saw this footage that came out, and we're not quite sure on it. We don't have the real story. I saw the video, much like many of you, and maybe still confused as to what happened to Dean Lister. So I thought I would give our participants here 30 seconds to say what they think happened to Dean Lister. I'm going to start with Tim Freeman.
Well, I think Dean is a method actor, and he's in practice for a role right now about a guy who actually discovered the whole lower half of the body. It didn't exist before that point. Like, he literally discovered it. There was another gentleman on the East Coast named Don Janaher who was not happy about it. He had a new DVD coming out with Fanatical BJJ, and that was covering basically how upper body's where it's at. Anyway, long story. Don gets on an airplane, Inspirational Airlines, $17 ticket, gets out to San Diego, confronts Dean. Dean slips on a sweaty rash guard, breaks his arm, hits his eye on an ab roll machine, and here he is today. So he's kind of trying to keep that character. So he showed up in form. He's doing it well. He hasn't broken it yet. I haven't seen him, like, for 1 minute just relax and break the kayfabe. Dean's in character.
Thank you for that. We now go to you, Kevin Sherrill. What do you think happened to Dean Lister?
I don't think I know, Raf. I've seen this before. This is very clearly a cat scratch victim. Those of you at home who have cats like me, you've seen it. They're belly up. It looks adorable, but you know they don't want you to scratch them on the tum-tum. It's dangerous. They're animals. They're predators. They're apex predators, in fact. You go in for a little scritchy scratch, they claw their way up your arm, and they go right for the face. This is classic cat scratch victim. Dean needs to know that home is that cat's, not yours, Dean. Not yours. You can't do it. You can't. They look cuddly. Don't do it.
I like the official terminology of scratchy scratch. We've learned a lot here at this desk. I have a quick little assumption here of what happened to Dean Lister. You know, a lot of times you think that you're seeing somebody show up here at the PGF and you don't know what they're up to. The answer is clear. Batman. My man went out, fought some crime in the streets of Gotham, flew into here, had a bad night at the office, but put away a bunch of people into Arkham Asylum. And if you think I'm wrong, prove it. Because who else carries themselves like a Bruce Wayne? If you've been to a party, you know that Dean, you know what I mean? He does all right. He's got the Playboy part down. The question is, what's he doing when he finished teaching classes? So you're not fooling anybody, Mr. Wayne.
I'll see you at Wayne Corp a little bit later. So that is my best estimation. Let's go to our next topic right now, which is prop bets. So those of you who are asking about Fantasy League, yes, you want to get in on that right now. And we're actually going just slightly over, so you have a few extra seconds to get your picks in right now. But before we finish, let's just say this. There may be some prop bets that people like Egghead aren't talking about, and that's why we go to the more important team, which is the one standing before you right now. Why don't we go ahead and start with you, Tim Freeman. What is a prop bet that maybe people aren't familiar with?
Well, everybody wants to know about breaks. Everybody wants to know about kills. Everybody's concerned with who's going to score the most points and who's not going to score, who's going to get stalled on. I'm here to represent the fine furniture makers of America. I'm here to represent the couches. I want to know how many couchables there's going to be today. Somebody's going to get put onto the couch, and I want to know. I'm looking for couch lock victims today. That's my prop bet. I'm going to go 3. I think that's the over-under. I think 3 couchables today, day 1, season 7.
Still a weird phrase we're not quite used to here on the show. Don't know how I feel about it. Kevin, I'm going to come back to you.
Yeah, I also was taking a look at how many couchables we were going to have. I had them at 1.5, but I also want to talk about these shootouts we're going to go, and we're going to go with secondary leg finishes. People finishing on not the primary leg like Don Janaher would like you to, but on the secondary leg. I've got 4. We're talking Aoki locks. We're talking toe holds. We're talking whatever other made-up stuff you think you want to name after yourself. I don't know, Ninja Lock, Inferno, whatever.
Ninja Lock Inferno is just sold over 100,000 copies on BJJ Fanatics, by the way, everybody, in case you weren't aware of it. Let's go to our next topic, which is this. Listen, nobody really talks about the burdens that come with being a part of the PGF. I said, let's bring that to the table. And the thing that you got to see here is, what are the unforeseen burdens here? The things people may be not thinking about. So with that, I start with you, Kevin Sherrill. As somebody who's participated in a PGF, you have this experience. What are some of the unforeseen burdens that maybe the home audience has no idea about?
Well, let's talk about the weight of the handsome belt. No, I'm playing. Something that you don't think about unless you are maybe a jiu-jitsu professional with a reputation on the line is what we saw here today. Guys out here, they have expectations. They have to deliver. They have fans, and they have technique DVDs out there. If they're selling, I don't know, a crucifix DVD, Brad Schneider, you can't really afford to not finish someone with a crucifix. We saw with AJ Agazarm last year with his defensive DVD. That man was ready to let everything break. Right? You have expectations. You have technique DVDs to sell. That mortgage won't pay itself. That gym membership you're still paying even though you're an elite athlete, yeah, that won't pay itself either. You've got to get those things sold. And if you got to put your body on the line to do it, you got to put your body on the line to do it.
Thank you. It always gets really weird when it's like you got to put your body on the line. Like, you know what?
You got to do what it takes. You want to be a star.
First
Yeah,
he doesn't like couchable. Now he
just
doesn't like bodies on the line.
I'm just saying. I mean, think about the language choices, gentlemen. That's all. Tim, I come to you next.
Well, I think one of the unforeseen burdens here is for the athletes that come in and who are already kind of known as really great defensive guys. That's nice to have, and it's nice to be able to go out there and force your opponent to put up a 0. That helps your team. It doesn't necessarily help you to make it into the individual playoffs. So I think these guys, they kind of have to walk the line of like, man, am I going to open up and take risks to actually score? Or am I going to just fulfill my role as being the guy who shuts everybody out? It's a little bit of a tricky game because if you start getting caught, your team's not happy about it. But if you don't take some chances, you can't get on the board to advance what you're actually here to do. Everybody wants to see a performance, and that means you have to perform, and that means you have to do something, not just defend something.
Beautiful. Thank you guys so much. All right. We're going to go to one of our last topics here, which is inspired. Now, maybe you guys don't have this feeling yet, but we here have some stake in the game. We have people on our fantasy teams, and I wanted to give these individuals 30 seconds each to say their best form of inspiration to their team members. I'm going to start with you, Tim Freeman.
So, thank you, Raf. In the history of histories, every once in a while, you have to stand up as a man in front of other men who are downtrodden, backs against the wall, in a real tough, tight spot. Like Young MC said, you have to bust a move. And this is not one of those times. And the reason is this is the PGF. You're on the most exciting promotion that exists today. If you're not inspired already, you need to fold up your rash guard and your little shorts and leave them in the middle of the mat, dump your belt in the garbage can, and hit the road, because there's an alternate who's preying on your downfall. It's go time. It's time to buckle up and start hunting, or you're going to get hunted. That's my inspiration for you.
It sounded like 4 fortune cookies that just kind of got bunched together.
Yeah. As a fortune cookie GPT, I put it
He
in
had
too, and
Chinese
kinda
last
came
night.
up with
He had
Copy
Chinese
that.
last
Yes,
night.
he did have Chinese last night. Thank you. Shout out the very nice bar across the street. Kevin, you're up next.
All right. I need you to make eye contact with me. I'm talking to you. My Kevinettes. My Legion of Killers. The junior Kevinettes. When you go out there, I need you to remember, you're not just representing you. You're representing us. You're scoring those points. You're scoring them for us. And for me. For you as well. But mostly for me. And I need you to remember that that's important because it's for me. Score those points. Kevinettes don't lose, and Kevinettes never say die. However, if you have to die, that's on the table. If you don't tap before you die, it's no points. You're good to go. Go to Valhalla with that in your mind, that you didn't let the Kevinettes down.
Thank you for that, Kevin. Allow me to have a few remaining seconds for my team. Listen, Team ESPARZAs, there's 2 of you. Listen, I love you all. It's like I fathered a lot of children here. My inspirational message is as such. Good morning. In less than an hour, aircraft from here will join forces around the world, and they will be launching the largest aerial battle in the history of mankind. Mankind, that word should have a new meaning for all of us today. We can't be consumed by our petty differences. Not anymore. We will be united in our common interests. Perhaps it's fate that today is the 4th of July-ish. And for once, you'll be fighting not only for our freedom, not from tyranny, not from oppression, not for persecution, but from annihilation. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist. And we should win today. The 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day the world declared in one voice. We will not go quietly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Scene.
That was beautiful, Raph. Did you write that?
You know, I
Good
did.
job, man.
Thank you. Let's go to our gallery section now. Shout out Bill Pullman. All right. We have a couple comments, and then we're going to throw it to the action here in just a second. But why don't we go ahead and throw up our first comment? And it says as such. This was actually yesterday in the comment section when you guys were saying, fire the IT and graphics team immediately. And then somebody from the graphics team got in the chat and said, come take it, Sean P. So we're just letting you know, we're not the only ones that police the comment sections, just to give you a little preview of what's happening this week. Kev, I'm going to let you take the second one here.
Oh, yeah. Good interview by Travis. Calling a man couchable is total disrespect.
Hey, man.
Absolutely. In fact, it's something you should be calling people a lot. It's a good term. You should use that.
Alan Jackson, take a seat.
Let's now go to our third comment. Couchable, whatever. Tim, why don't you let us know what this one says?
Kyle Boehm is the Rob Gronkowski of the PGF. Maybe. I don't exactly see it, but
I mean, he's 2 refrigerators wide, just like Gronk.
he's
That's about
big.
it. Yeah.
He got the same size, but a little less talkative than Gronk. I would have to say that.
All right. And finally, the last comment coming into us, it says, the cringy begging for bids hurts. Let the coaches bid what they're going to bid and stop trying to talk them up. That's not how bidding works. Have you ever bid to an auction before? Do you think they just go like, hey, if you guys would like to come in on this, that'd be cool. No, they get straight into the psychology of give us money, rich people. So thank you for that.
My man typed that on a flip phone. He said money doesn't matter.
All right, ladies and gents, we're now going to hand it over to the main show. We will be back after the proceedings here tonight. We wanted to give you a few extra moments to go to the Fantasy League to get in. So PGF
Home?
Where? Home?
No,
Home?
I think it's pgfworld.tv.
There you go. Thank you. So go there, sign up right away, because once the first match happens, it's closed. And you guys, I think you kind of want to be like me, like a champion. You know what I'm saying?
It's
not going to have
I'm
that
sorry.
You can't win this. I have this.
Real
But
quick, it's pgf.global.
Thank you.
pgf.global.
appreciate you guys. Ladies and gents, that's going to do it for us here. We'll see you back at the conclusion of the action today. Do not go anywhere. You'll want to catch these matches. On behalf of Tim Freeman, Kevin Sherrill, myself, RAF ESPARZA, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a great day for grappling. We'll see you back on the mats.